Hello everyone, my name is Helena. I think you all know me from my constant lack of electric power at home. This is my video presentation for our lesson on interlanguage. Today I will talk about it and show you how it is evident in real learning, writing, and speaking samples. Our agenda for today includes a little reminder of what interlanguage is, the two learner samples I collected, one written and one spoken, an analysis of the interlanguage elements in both, conclusions, my references, and the due credits to the people who participated in this project. So, what is interlanguage? This describes the extensive trial and error process that learners go through to slowly succeed in approximating the language systems used by native speakers. Interlanguage lies between the learner's first language and the language being learned. It is the learner's best attempt to provide order and structure to the language learning process. This interlanguage often preserves some features of their first language, and it can also overgeneralize some language to writing and speaking rules. The errors they make are often stepping stones to learning and are a natural occurrence in students' language development. The samples I took are from a class I teach on Saturdays for students who want to get their high school diploma qualifications. So they accelerate. In 6 months, they see 2 years of high school. The problem is in the upper grades, I only have one student, and we're gonna call him Sam. He's not the most eager of students. So this is the result of a short interview. What is your full name?
My name is
So in this short sample, we already see a bit of language transfer. He is pronouncing my as me and name as name. The same thing happens with is, although that's not as noticeable. Sam is pronouncing words in English as if they were in Spanish. How old are you? I had to remove about 9 minutes of audio from this part that consisted of Sam sitting down, staring at the ceiling, and trying to remember either how old he is or how to say it in English.
27.
He's 17. Anyway, in this particular segment, Sam skips the word am. This seems to be a transfer strategy that consists of omission. He cannot relate the structure yo tengo to I am. Where are you from?
I'm from Colombia.
The phrase I'm from Colombia is accurate, showing memorized training input. What is your favorite color?
Dark. Dark.
At this point, Sam nodded to me, letting me know that was his final answer. I thought for a moment it could be an example of circumlocution, where he uses more words than necessary to express an idea when the direct term or phrase is not known. But I realized after asking him in Spanish, and he told me that yes, his favorite color is oscuro, that what he did is learning strategy, where through repetition he clarifies to me and to himself what he means. Do you like animals?
Yes.
What is your favorite food?
No.
These two are examples of very interesting communication strategies. Both answers are short. They show avoidance of longer structures. And the first one, he is simply trying to make the answer simple to himself. And the second one, however, he doesn't know how to tell me that he doesn't know how to tell me. What is your hobby?
Video. Gomes.
Lastly, this is another example of language transfer, in which he pronounces games as games. Now, for our second sample, I asked the lower grade students to write a short paragraph. I asked them to tell me what their favorite social media platform is, why they like it, and what they like doing on it. Now, some of the samples I took I couldn't use simply because I just couldn't read them. I really don't know what they meant by what they wrote. Some of them because of their calligraphy. Now, others, like this one, were pretty much fully in Spanish, so not much for me to analyze there. I took an example from a student we are gonna call Maria. She wrote this: "My favorite social media is TikTok, and stay all day on social media. It helps me think, me like what entertain." In this particular sample, there are two examples of language transfer. And stay all day on social media shows that she skipped the auxiliary pronoun, something she will be allowed to do in Spanish. Me like shows direct influence of Spanish me gusta. There's also a small intralingual error. She wrote think without an H instead of think, which suggests to me a simplified spelling sound mapping. And a communication strategy that is very, very common. She wrote me like what entertain. This is a simplification that she used because she lacks the correct form, what entertains me. Both the written and spoken samples demonstrate how interlanguage is a natural stage in second language acquisition. This exercise took me to these conclusions. First, the analysis shows that errors are not random. Instead, they reveal consistent patterns influenced by the learner's first language. This confirms that learners rely on their mother's tongue as a support system when building a second language. Second, the samples illustrate how learners apply their own learning strategies. These strategies are not signs of failure, but of adaptation. They allow learners to continue communicating despite limited resources. Third, the data reveals the presence of training transfer. This shows how instruction directly shapes interlanguage, but also that memorized chunks may coexist with incomplete grammar in other areas. Fourth, interlanguage is dynamic and developmental. Over time, these approximations evolve into more target-like structures. Fifth, these observations have important implications for teaching. Identifying elements such as transfer, overgeneralization, or communication strategies helps understand why an error occurs and how to address it correctly. Finally, these samples remind us that interlanguage is unique to each learner. It reflects their background, their exposure to English, their learning history, and their communicative needs. By analyzing it, we gain valuable insight into the process of second language acquisition, and we can design instruction that respects the learner's current stage while supporting further development.